Aliya, my love. Hello. I
Hello.
am so excited that we are chatting today.
Me too. I have been looking forward to this. So happy.
I just love you and when I first met you, I was like, can anyone really always be this nice and this happy? And like, now that I know you, that's just you. Like, you truly are always just like the sweetest thing and always so happy.
Oh my gosh. Seriously, right back at you. I'm so glad we connected and I'm so glad we're doing this right now. This is an awesome project.
Thank you so much for being a part of it. So tell everyone who you are and what you do.
Yes. So my name is Aliya Levinson, and I help female coaches who are kind of struggling with not playing a big enough game, downplaying themselves, kind of putting themselves into a box and not being as authentic as they can be in their business, to really get clear and aligned so that they can start actually seeing more traction and really kind of like exploding their game from the inside out.
Love that. Because once you are totally in line with your mindset and your business, then you are on fire.
Yes.
And
1,000%.
Yes. And your business is totally on fire, but you've had some bumps in the road, and it all came down to you and your authentic self. And the thing that you were saying, like, yes, be authentic, be yourself, you weren't being true to you. And when you really switched that, then it just like exploded from there.
Yes. Yeah. Like, my Facebook group is called Authentic Entrepreneurs. And a lot of what I'm about is just like authenticity and doing your thing. And all of last year, as much as I was preaching that, there was a part of me that really felt like I wasn't fully being myself or putting out offers that really resonated with me. And so it contributed to highs and lows in my business, where I was doing things that I thought I should be doing, that I thought people wanted, but kind of taking away from myself and like what really felt like a heart-centered program to me.
Right. And I think there's so many women out there that like need to hear that, because in this industry, there's so many things that people say, you should do this. You should have a group program. You should have this. You need to run Facebook ads. You need to post 3 times a day in Facebook groups. And that is not what creates an authentic and aligned business. That what creates what works for somebody else.
Yes, exactly. And especially for anyone who's a total people pleaser in recovery like me, I'm like, ooh, there's a way to like try to please everyone. Like, sure, this is what you're supposed to do in online business. So like, I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this. And then you realize you're like, none of this feels so fulfilling to me. Like, maybe this is what someone else feels good about, but for me, it just doesn't work. And like, why are we even in this business if we're not doing things that really resonate with us and like fill us up, you know?
Yes. And what was like that turning moment in your business? Like, what was it? You're like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, if I don't want to be in my Facebook group every day, guess what? I'm not going to do it. Like, if I have something going on in my personal life and, you have a ton going on, you're recently engaged, you're planning a wedding, like you have all these amazing things going on in your life. And if you want to take some time off from your Facebook group, like, when did you finally give yourself permission to be like, I can do that?
Yes. So I was very like, I have to be on, I have to do this. I like had it set in my mind, but it wasn't centered in anything that really mattered to me. It was centered in, this is just the way it is. So I was kind of like at the effects of my business instead of at the cause of it. And that's something I hate. So I think and part of it is that I'm a social worker as well. So I'm doing that. I'm doing this. I have like so much that I'm juggling. And, I never really wanted to give myself to fully trust myself. I kind of just have always held back, have always kept some of those like perfectionist tendencies. And it's hurt my business. Like I've seen wins. I've had a group, program. I'm running this big Facebook group. I've had clients from all over, but I haven't really put the pedal to the metal like 1,000 billion%. And I think really, Holly, what happened is I looked around and I was like, I'm not fulfilled right now. Like this may feel good to everyone else, maybe, but it doesn't feel good to me. And like at the end of the day, what are we doing again? Like if we're not feeling good,
Well, and like you said, what's the point? Like, why not just collect a paycheck from somebody else and be comfortable and just, if you're going to follow by someone else's rules, like why spend all this effort and tears and ups and downs going through all this?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's no point.
Now, you mentioned something that I know you're a licensed therapist and you talked about social work, and you have you have a 9-to-5 job doing your social work, and you're building your business too. And that is so taboo in this industry. And
yeah.
I'm so proud of you for just like breaking that and being like, hey, if I want to stay a little bit longer at my 9-to-5 job, I can do that. I have a very successful business online that I can leave the social work job at any time. But these are two things that fulfill me, and I'm going to keep on moving forward with both.
Exactly. And exactly how you put it is almost how I wish that I came out and said it just from the very beginning, because I talked about it a lot when I first started my Facebook group. And then as things got bigger, I was kind of like, is this something I should share? Or like, is it okay that I have two different interests? And like, you're exactly right. In an industry that's like, get out of your job, do this. It's like, how do you balance that? So absolutely. Yeah.
And I am just like so proud of you for, going against the grain on that and being like, I'm going to quit when I'm ready, and I'm showing up as much as I would be either way. And I think that's like a lot to do with it, because some people will be like, oh, she's working a 9-to-5 job. How is she going to help me build a business? But that's the whole key of it. It's building that business that has really strong processes and automation. So if you didn't have that 9-to-5 job, you could do anything you wanted during those 9-to-5 hours and still have the business that you do.
Exactly. Like, and I think that there were so many systems set up. There were so many things that are in place. Like the financial wins have been there. But the only thing really holding myself back from consistency at this point has been myself. So that's why I decided to just totally change it. And start really doing what matters to me, and thinking that I'm like, I'm the only one that matters now. But like, it's like, it's so much like your people and your prospects, but also so much starting with you,
Absolutely. And we were chatting about this a little bit off camera, that you look at entrepreneurs who have multiple businesses and all of a sudden they're successful because they have multiple businesses. Well, that's what you're doing. You have multiple passions that you're continuing to move forward with. And when you choose to release one, that's your choice. And you are in that power to make that choice because you've grown this successful online business. And I love, love, love that you're coming out and open about that, because there's so many people who like feel so forced to choose.
Yeah. And it's, it kind of is like a tragedy that like the environment that we're in can cause us to like have certain thoughts about ourselves or about what we should be or what isn't acceptable or is acceptable. And it's like, you get to create what's acceptable and what's not, bottom line, period. No one else.
Exactly. And that's exactly it. I mean, it's you. It's whatever you want out of your life. You can create that, and whatever that looks like. And you should do that unapologetically and authentically, because that is you and your brand.
Yes. Yeah, 1,000%.
So I know there's been some other hurdles in the journey, as you know, those first year journeys are, gosh, like it's like a battlefield. There's like mines all over, and like, you know, people shooting at you from all different directions. And you might have dropped your helmet a couple steps ago. You know, but what is like one thing that you're like, that has happened to you, that one lesson that you really learned from that you want to share with the audience?
That's a good one. I'm trying to think. You know, I think I'll actually share something that I just have been reading about lately, which is, I think so many times, like, the environment that we grow up in creates the person who we end up being, right? And it's like, if you're kind of like the mediator of your family, or if you're like in a certain role or doing this or doing that, then you continue to take that role with you wherever you go. And I know for me, as someone who's like, wants to be like, is everyone okay? Is everyone okay? I always end up myself usually being the one who's not okay. And I think especially when we get online and we have all of these people telling us, you need to concentrate on your audience, you need to, you know, be specific to in your niche and everything. It's really easy for that type of person to, again, get into the habit of not putting themselves first. And it's like, you have to put your air mask on you. And I've had that lesson over and over again in life. And this is just another time I've had it, but really holding on and remembering that, I think, can serve you so well in your business and in general.
Absolutely. The oxygen max needs to go on you. And you talked about being a people pleaser, and that might have been the role that you've had within your home life too. And you shared like a super, super powerful, story with me when we were able to connect face to face, and you were inspired to do this because of some things that happened to you in your family situation.
My younger sister passed away unexpectedly about 11 years ago now. So obviously, you know, devastating doesn't even begin to describe. But that was kind of one of those pivotal moments in life for me where you realize that things can happen in the drop of a hat. And what it really goes to show and comes back to is, do what matters to you. Like, do what matters to you. If things happen, like, you want, God forbid nothing happens, but you want to be doing what like fulfills you and what fills up your cup, no matter what that is, you know?
Absolutely. And just the power of taking that story and all, you know, the tragedy and the hardship behind that and putting it into something that's so beautiful to help women entrepreneurs and to help people in the social work field too. Like, that is just so beautiful. And I'm so proud for everything that you've accomplished.
Thanks, Holly. Same to you. You are on fire. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. You're so cute. So I know everyone is dying to hear where they can get in touch with you and learn more about how to become your more authentic self and how to really tackle that mindset to get you to that place in your business.
Yes, I would love for whoever is watching to join me. So you can go to aliyalevinson.com, which is ALIYALEVINSON.com. And a link to my Facebook group is there. Don't judge me by my website because it is not updated. I have not been focusing on it.
That's okay.
Find my Facebook group and email and connect with me, and I'm excited to meet you.
Yes, and I love your Facebook group. I'm in there too. So I think that, you know, your message and just you're such a shining light to people. And I love watching your videos, and your content is just always so good. So I'm so, so excited that you're part of this project. And thank you so much for sharing. You know, sometimes things aren't always easy to talk about. And that's the whole purpose of this project, is to show that there's so much more behind a pretty brand and a a pretty photo shoot and a fancy website. There is a lot of things that go into it, and there's a lot of ups and downs. And I really want the listeners to see that they might be going through something that you went through, and they might feel like it's their rock bottom. They might have something happen to them in their family. They might have these blocks around, being perfect or being that people pleaser. And just know, like, that Aliya, you've overcome all of that and been able to take that energy and turn it into something amazing. And the women who are watching this can absolutely do that.
Thanks, Holly. Thank you.
Again, like, you were just like the sweetest thing, but it's like totally real, totally authentic. Trust me, I know.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And I'm so excited that you were a part of this.
Thanks for having me. This was so fun.
Yes. We'll talk soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.